Hello and welcome to Southside News Today. I'm Chuck Vipperman reporting. Southside News Today is presented by Redeemed Christian Dance Studios on Crankhead Street, Shanks Associates, engineers, surveyors, and planners, and by the Chatham Star-Tribune. Outgoing Governor Ralph Northam had one final bit of good news Thursday for Southside Virginia. He announced $7 million in grants from the state's Business Ready Site program for 11 projects. Two biggest grants are coming to our area. The largest is a $1.3 billion grant for the Berry Hill megasite in Pittsylvania County. That money will grade lots number 1 and 2 at the state's largest mega park. There's been more than $150 million in investment at Berry Hill so far. Also in the region, the state's sending a little more than $1 million to upgrade lots at the Commonwealth Crossing Business Center in Henry County. It's located near the North Carolina line and already hosts 3 industries. Local and federal authorities have arrested a suspect in a Danville pawn shop burglary. Danville police and the ATF have identified, located, and arrested Charlie Joe Harrell of Burlington, North Carolina. He's charged in the January 4th break-in and theft at Riverside Pawn on Riverside Drive. Harrell was arrested in North Carolina Wednesday night. Tips sent in from the public led investigators to him. Police say they were able to recover all 7 guns stolen in the burglary, along with illegal drugs and other illegal guns. Other people are now facing various gun and weapons charges and drug counts as well. Harrell is the only suspect in the burglary at Riverside Pawn. Well, Danville Public Works crews have begun pre-treating major roads, bridges, and overpasses before a winter storm forecast for Sunday. National Weather Service in Blacksburg says the storm will likely bring a wintry mix of precipitation to Danville. Right now, the heaviest stuff is expected Sunday afternoon, continuing overnight before ending early Monday. When the storm arrives, crews will begin working 12-hour round-the-clock shifts. Crews will begin plowing when an inch of snow accumulates on the roads. Danville Utilities crews, meantime, are prepared to work in staggered 16-hour shifts if need be. Well, for the first time in 20 years, Danville, Virginia will have a representative on the House of Delegates Powerful Money Committee. New House Speaker Todd Gilbert this week named Danville delegate Danny Marshall to the House Appropriations Committee. He's the first local delegate to serve on that panel since Whit Clement in the 1990s.
Appropriations Committee is a committee that deals with the budget. And so the governor proposes and the General Assembly disposes. And most of that disposing is at the issue of the Appropriations Committee on the House, Finance on the Senate.
Appropriations Committee Chairman Barry Knight has named Marshall as chairman of the Natural Resources and Agriculture Subcommittee of Appropriations. That's the first stop for spending bills dealing with farming, forestry, mining, and green energy. Now, Marshall is also going to return to the Commerce and Energy Committee. He's also back on House Agriculture, will serve as the panel's vice chair. Meantime, Chatham Delegate Les Adams will serve as vice chair of the House Courts of Justice Committee and will maintain seats on Privileges and Elections and Commerce and Energy. 5th District Congressman Bob Good Thursday voted against the Democratic voting rights bill. Lynchburg Republican says the measure would nationalize all elections, stripping states of their authority.
The Democrats and President Joe Biden are casting everything in a racist lens, including voter integrity. And Joe Biden, he's failing and losing on every issue. He's letting the American people down in the past year on every issue. And so what he's doing is bringing out his old tired mantra that everything's a racist issue, including voter ID, voter integrity.
Now, supporters say the bill would expand and protect voter access, reform redistricting, campaign finance, and protect against election fraud. But Good calls that a smokescreen.
And so what he's trying to do, he and Nancy Pelosi, is have a federal takeover of elections where the federal government diminishes the states' rights to control their own elections. It eliminates their ability to have voter ID, voter integrity, and even update their voter rolls.
The measure passed the House Thursday on a party line vote. It now goes to the Senate, where it's unlikely to reach the filibuster-proof majority needed for passage. A routine traffic stop in Caswell County Wednesday led to a foot chase and a big drug arrest. A sheriff's deputy on patrol along Route 29 in Pelham spotted a suspicious vehicle in the southbound lane. Deputy pulled him over. The driver, 29-year-old Brandon Alexander Gore of Danville, reportedly jumped out of the car and ran off. He was eventually found and arrested without incident. A search of the vehicle turned up an undisclosed amount of illegal drugs. Gore is charged with 1 count of trafficking cocaine, another count of trafficking fentanyl, and maintaining a vehicle for the sale of controlled substances. He's being held in the Caswell County Detention Center under a $100,000 bond. His first court date is set for next week. Well, Danville leaders looking to spruce up an historic neighborhood. City's looking at streetscape improvements near the edge of the Monument Berryman redevelopment area. Developers say that'll encourage growth around the River District and in the Old West End. They need to acquire 3 vacant lots on Stoke Street near Berryman. Now, those parcels right now have 37 nuisance liens held by the city, totaling over $13,500. That far exceeds the assessed value of the property. The owner says they'll convey the property to the city in exchange for forgiveness of the liens. City Council will take up the idea next week. That is Southside News Today. I'm Chuck Vipperman reporting. Southside News Today is presented by Redeemed Christian Dance Studios on Craighead Street, Shanks Associates, engineers, surveyors, and planners, and by the Chatham Star Tribune. I'm Chuck Vipperman. Have a great day.